The Forgotten Lives of Castle Servants * welcome, dear listener, to Boring Tales of the History. Tonight we step gently into the forgotten lives of castle servants, a world of cold stone, smoky hearths, endless toil. Imagine a castle, its gray towers, rising from a misty valley, the air heavy with wood smoke, damp wool, fresh baked bread. We gather in its shadows, among servants, their hands worn, their lives unseen. This is a tale of labor, endurance, quiet dreams, set in the year 1320. Over the next 2 hours, we explore their world, their struggles, their legacy, in 4 soothing segments, each a whisper of the past. Close your eyes, feel the warmth of a kitchen fire. Let the rhythm of history lull you to sleep. Imagine a castle, its walls rise high, towering over fields. The year is 1320. The air is cool, damp, heavy with the scent of earth. Agnes, a maid of 16, steps through a stone archway, her hands rough from years of scrubbing, her apron stained with grease, soot. Servants are the castle's lifeblood. Unseen, vital, their existence is labor, their world the Lord's domain. The castle is a fortress, a home, a cage. Its stone walls hold their lives, their dreams, their toil. Let us walk with Agnes. Feel her place, her quiet, endless routine. Servants are peasants, often serfs, bound to the land. Agnes was born into this life. Her parents till fields, her siblings serve. She entered the castle at 10, her hands small, her heart heavy with duty. Serfs cannot leave, their lives belong to the Lord. Agnes works in the kitchen, her days filled with pots, fires, flour. The castle is vast, its halls echo with knights' boots, ladies' laughter, but her world is narrow. A smoky corner of stone, heat, sweat. She moves through it, her steps soft, her hands always busy. Survival is work. Work is survival. The castle is a hierarchy, rigid, unyielding. Agnes knows her place, low, humble. She bows to stewards, cooks, her eyes cast down. The Lord sits high, his kin dine on roasted meats. High servants, stewards, chamberlains, manage, command. Low servants like Agnes scrub, carry, toil. Her hands move constantly, scraping pots, sweeping rushes, carrying buckets. The castle demands her labor, its stone walls cold, its fires warm only for others. She works, her body aching, her mind quiet. Survival is obedience, acceptance, endurance. Agnes sleeps on straw, in the kitchen's corner, her blanket thin, patched. The castle never sleeps. Footsteps echo through corridors, fires hiss in hearths. She wakes before dawn, her body stiff, her tasks waiting. The air smells of ash, grease, damp stone. Her world is the castle, its needs. Her life, she carries water from a well, her buckets heavy, sloshing. Her shoulders ache, her hands blister. The castle lives because she does. Its feasts, its warmth, its order, built on her labor. She moves, her steps slow, deliberate, her heart steady. The Lord's world is bright. Tapestries, line halls, fires roar in great rooms. Agnes sees it, serving ale, her hands steady, careful. She pours. Her tray wobbles. She must not spill. Punishment waits, a slap, a missed meal. She dreams of rest, of fields, but dreams fade. Her place is fixed. The castle is a cage. Its walls hold her, her kin, her life. Survival is acceptance. Agnes moves through corridors, her steps soft, her heart quiet. The castle endures, its servants forgotten. There lives a whisper in its stone. She works, her hands never still, her tasks endless. The kitchen hums, its fire burns, Agnes toils, her life a rhythm of labor. The kitchen is her domain, though not hers to command. She kneels by the hearth, her hands black with soot. She adds logs, stirs embers. The fire must burn, always burn. It cooks the Lord's meals, warms his halls, lights his feasts. Agnes's hands are her tools. Rough, calloused, they scrub iron pots, their surfaces pitted. Heavy she lifts them, her arms strain. She carries them to the well, fills them with water, cold, clear. Sometimes cloudy, she returns, her steps heavy. The castle depends on her. Its order rests on her shoulders. She works, her mind drifting, her body moving. Survival is routine, repetitive, soothing. Servants are many, their faces blend. Agnes knows them, their names, their pains. She shares a smile with a scullion, his hands red from scrubbing. They whisper, their voices low, careful. The castle watches, its stewards listen. Agnes moves, her apron tight, her hair tucked under a cap. She sweeps, rushes. The floor gritty with bones, ash, spilled ale. The castle's great hall shines for others, its beauty her labor. She works, her broom steady, her heart calm. The castle lives, its servants unseen, their toil the foundation of its grandeur. The hierarchy binds. Agnes sees knights, their armor gleaming, ladies, their dresses soft. She serves, her head bowed, her hands full. The castle is a stage, its players noble, its servants shadows. She carries trays, her steps careful. The Lord's table groans, meats, wines, fruits. Agnes watches, her stomach empty. She eats later, scraps, porridge. Her hunger constant. Survival is patience, restraint. She works, her hands steady. The castle feasts. She waits, her life a quiet rhythm, its pulse, her labor. Agnes dreams, her mind wanders. She sees fields, open skies, but the castle holds its walls close. She returns to her tasks, her hands moving, pots, brooms, buckets. The castle is her world, its stone her sky. She works, her heart heavy, her spirit strong. Survival is endurance. She carries on, her steps slow, her hands never still. The castle thrives, its servants forgotten, their lives a whisper, a hum, a flicker in its endless halls. Agnes toils, her life a song, unsung, but steady. Dawn breaks, the castle stirs. Agnes rises from her straw pallet, her body stiff, her eyes heavy, the air smoky, cold. She moves to the kitchen hearth, adds wood, sparks rise, flicker. Life in the castle is a rhythm, tasks repeat, days blend. Survival is toil, toil is survival. Agnes moves slowly, her hands busy, her mind calm. Let us follow her day, step by step, task by task, hour by hour. The hearth demands care. Agnes stirs embers, places logs. The fire must live. It cooks, warms, lights. She fills a cauldron, water from the well, cold, heavy. She adds barley, onions, bones from yesterday's feast. Stew simmers, its scent thick, warm, Filling the kitchen, she grinds flour. Her cornstone turns, turns. Flour dusts her hands. Her apron she kneads dough. Her fingers press, pull, shape loaves. She bakes them. Flat stones by the hearth. The castle's kitchen hums. Its air heavy, smoky, alive. Agnes scrubs pots. Her hands raw. Lye bites her skin. She sweeps, rushes, bones ash. Ale stains scatter. The castle's great hall must shine. She carries wood. Her arms ache. Water sloshes in buckets. Her shoulders strain. Every task is small, endless, repetitive. The castle lives on her labor. Its tables gleam. Its fires burn. Agnes works. Her body tired. Her heart steady. Her hands never still. She moves through the kitchen. Her steps soft. Her apron tight. Meals are for others. Agnes serves. Her tray heavy. Wobbling lords dine. Knights laugh. Ladies smile. She pours ale. Her hands careful, precise. She must not spill. Punishment waits. A harsh word. A missed meal. She stands. Her back straight. Her eyes low. The castle's hall is bright. Tapestries glow. Fires roar. Agnes sees, but does not touch. She eats later. Porridge. Bread. Scraps. Hunger gnaws. She saves crusts. Bones. Survival is thrift. Nothing wasted. The castle feasts. She waits. The day stretches. Agnes carries laundry. Her basket heavy. To a stream beyond the castle. Her hands plunge. Water chills. Linens soak. She scrubs. Her knuckles red, raw. The castle needs clean sheets. Tablecloths. Survival is labor. She returns. Her arms full. Her steps slow. She hangs cloth by the fire. Steam rises. The kitchen smells of damp wool. Ash. She mends. Her needle moves. Slow, steady, stitches, small, precise. The castle's order rests on her. Its beauty her toil. Evening falls. The castle quiets. Agnes sits. Her hands still for a moment. The kitchen glows. Shadows flicker on stone. She hums, her voice low. Soft tales of saints. Fields, dreams. Other servants listen. Their faces tired. Their eyes heavy. The castle sleeps. Its stones cold. Its fires low. Agnes returns to her tasks. Sweeps again. Stirs the stew. Checks the fire. Her body aches. Her mind drifts. Survival is routine, repetitive, soothing. The kitchen is her world. Its hearth, her heart. Night comes. Agnes lies on her straw, her blanket thin. The castle never still. Footsteps echo. Distant voices murmur. She closes her eyes, her body heavy. Her tasks, tomorrow's shadow. Sleep creeps, carried by the days. Rhythm, the castle is her life. Its labor her pulse. She breathes, her mind soft. Survival is endurance. Agnes rests, her hands still. The kitchen fire burns low. Its warmth, a faint comfort. The castle lives, its servants unseen. Their toil a whisper, a hum, a flicker in its endless halls. The morning will come. Agnes knows. Her tasks wait. She dreams of rest, but wakes to work. The castle demands. Its hearths need tending. Its floors need sweeping. Its pots need scrubbing. She rises, her body stiff, her heart steady. She moves through the kitchen, her steps slow, her hands busy. The castle is a cycle, its days repeat. Its nights blend. Agnes works, her life a rhythm, her toil the castle's breath. She carries water, her buckets heavy, Her shoulders ache, she stirs stew, her hands steady. The castle eats, she waits asterisk. The kitchen is alive, other servants move, their hands busy, their voices low. Agnes shares a nod, a smile, with a scullion, his hands red, his eyes tired. They work together, their tasks shared. The castle binds them, its labor their bond. Agnes sweeps, her broom steady, she carries wood, her arms strong, she scrubs. Her hands raw, the castle shines, its order her creation. She moves, her steps soft, her heart calm. Survival is work, work is life. The castle endures, its servants forgotten, their lives a quiet song. Asterisk, the castle is a community. Agnes sits by the hearth, her kin near. Other servants close the year. Is 1321. Servants are bound, not free, but together. Survival is unity, every task, every meal. Shared, their lives woven, their hands joined. Let us join Agnes. Feel the warmth of bonds, the strength of kinship, the quiet comfort of their shared toil. Many work here, maids, scullions, grooms, the kitchen holds them. Straw pallets line its walls. Agnes shares her corner with a friend. Their whispers soft, careful. The castle is crowded, alive. Every laugh, every sigh, a note in its song. Agnes helps a new maid, her hands guiding, patient, teaching her to scrub, to stir. The girl's fingers fumble, her eyes wide. Agnes smiles, her voice low, kind. The castle is a school, its lessons shared, its labor a bond. Conflicts arise. A cook shouts, his voice sharp, pots clang. Agnes listens, her words calm, soothing. The kitchen is balance, anger fades, respect holds them. Survival is harmony. Children scurry, their giggles soft. They fetch water, carry straw, learn tasks. Agnes watches, her heart warm. She guides, her hands gentle. The castle teaches. Its labor unites. Servants share stories, their voices low. Tales of fields, rivers, dreams. The kitchen hums, its fire a heart. Feasts bring joy, the Lord's table groans. Servants share scraps. Agnes passes bread, her hands warm, generous. The castle is open, its kitchen a hearth. A groom sings, his voice low. Tales of stars, saints. Servants listen, their eyes heavy, entranced. The castle is a stage, its walls hold laughter. Survival is connection, moments stolen. Cherished, Agnes sways, her steps slow, her heart light. The kitchen binds them, its warmth their home. Sundays offer rest. Agnes kneels in the chapel, her kin near prayers rise. Soft, steady, the castle sings, its bells toll. Survival is faith, shared. They walk to the village, their steps slow. Laughter spills, they share ale, talk of crops, loves. The castle binds them, its labor their bond. Agnes feels her friends, her heart tied to this place. Survival is togetherness. The kitchen lives, its fire warm, its servants strong. The castle is alive, its servants many. Their hands move, their voices whisper. Agnes works, her hands steady. She sweeps, carries, scrubs. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. She shares a look with a friend. Their eyes meet, their smiles quick. The castle is harsh, but their bonds soft. Survival is love, quiet, enduring. Agnes helps a child, her hands gentle. She teaches, her voice calm. The castle is a family. Its labor their song. They work. Their hands never still. Their hearts joined. The kitchen is their world. Agnes stirs stew. Her hands steady. Other maids knead dough. Their fingers floured. They talk, their voices low. Stories of home, of fields, of dreams. The castle holds them. Its stone walls close, but their bonds open. Survival is sharing. Agnes passes a crust. Her friend smiles, they eat. Their hunger shared. The kitchen is warm. Its fire a comfort. They work, their tasks endless. Their hearts strong. Conflicts flare. A scullion argues. His voice sharp. Agnes listens. Her words soft. She calms. Her hands still. The castle demands peace. Its order their duty. Survival is balance. They move on. Their hands busy. Their voices low. The kitchen hums. Its fire steady. Agnes sweeps. Her broom slow. The castle lives. Its servants unseen. Their bonds a quiet strength. There lives a whisper, a hum, a flicker in its stone. Hunger haunts. Agnes measures flour. Her hands precise, careful. The castle's stores are low, dwindling. The year is 1322. A poor harvest starves. Fields lie barren. Survival is food. Food is scarce, rare. Let us sit with Agnes, feel hunger's weight. The endless struggle to feed her kin, to endure the castle's demands. Servants eat last. Their meals, meager porridge, coarse bread, scraps from the Lord's table. Agnes stirs a pot, adds herbs, a pinch of salt. Every grain is precious. Counted, the castle smells of stew, but her bowl is thin. Watery, children beg, their eyes wide. Hungry, she shares her portion, her stomach empty, growling. Survival is sacrifice, love quiet. She kneads dough, her hands steady. Flour dusts her fingers, bread bakes, its scent mocks her hunger. Fills the kitchen with false promise. Famine strikes, fields fail, crops rot. Agnes recalls a winter. Stores empty, they ate chaff, roots, bark. Her body weak, her hands trembling. She foraged, her fingers cold. Digging in frozen earth, survival is desperation. Need, the castle cannot stop hunger. Its stone walls offer no food. She prays, her voice low, soft, for mercy, bounty. The kitchen's fire burns, its warmth cruel, mocking. Her belly aches, her heart heavy. She works, her hands never still. Her tasks endless. Preserving food is toil. Agnes salts fish, her hands sticky, rough. She churns butter, packs it in clay pots, cool, heavy. The castle is a pantry, its corners filled with sacks. Barrels, every scrap saved, hoarded. The Lord hunts, his deer shared sparingly. Its meat rare, precious. Agnes slices, her knife slow. Survival is thrift, nothing wasted, no bone, no rind. The castle lives on her care. Her hands, every bite hard won. Fought for, the Lord's feasts are grand. Agnes serves her tray heavy, laden with roasted meats, spiced wines, fruits. Lords laugh, their plates full. She watches, her stomach tight, stealing tempts, a crust, a bone, but punishment looms, a beating, a day without food. Survival is restraint, patience, she carries. Scraps, her hands quick, careful. The castle's kitchen feeds her, barely. Hunger lingers. A shadow, a weight. Agnes endures, her heart steady. her hands busy, the castle eats, she waits. Her life a rhythm of want, hunger shapes her days. Agnes measures grain, her hands careful. She stirs, kneads, bakes, her fingers ache, her body weak, the castle's stores dwindle. She saves, counts, her eyes sharp, survival is vigilance, thrift. She shares with a child, his hands small, hungry, the kitchen is alive, its fire burns. But hunger creeps, its grip tight. Agnes works, her hands steady, her heart calm. The castle feasts, its servants starve, their lives a quiet struggle. Their toil unseen, the castle's rhythm is hunger's rhythm. Agnes moves, her steps slow, her hands busy. She carries water, her buckets heavy. She scrubs pots, her knuckles raw. She sweeps, rushes, her broom steady. The castle shines, its tables groan, but her plate is empty. She eats, her meal small, her hunger constant. Survival is endurance. She shares a crust, her friend nods. Their eyes meet, the kitchen binds them, its fire a faint comfort. Agnes works, her life a cycle, her toil the castle's breath. Disease creeps, silent, deadly. Agnes tends a friend, her fever burns, her breath shallow. The castle is smoky, damp, its walls slick. The year is 1324. Survival is health, health is frail, fleeting. Let us sit with Agnes, feel illnesses chill. The quiet hope of healing, the fear of loss. The castle is tight, crowded, fleas bite. Lice crawl, water clouds. Agnes sweeps, her broom steady. Dirt clings, returns, illness spreads. Coughs echo through the kitchen. Her friend lies on straw, her face pale. Agnes bathes her forehead. Her hands gentle, cool. Survival is care, love, patience. She gathers herbs, mint, sage, yarrow, boils them. Steam rises. The castle smells of earth, hope, healing. Her hands steady, her heart heavy. Childbirth is peril, a maid labors, her cries low. Women gather, their voices soft, hushed. The castle holds its breath. Many die, mothers, babes. Agnes holds her hand, prays, her voice low. Survival is chance, strength, luck. The kitchen is cradle, grave. A cry breaks. A child lives. Agnes weeps, her heart full, her hands trembling. The castle breathes, its fire burns, life persists. But death lingers, a shadow, a threat. Death takes. Young, a child fades, his cough weak. Agnes mourns, her tears quiet. The castle dims, its fire low. She buries him, her hands steady. Digging earth, placing stones. Survival is memory. Grief, the dead live in prayers, whispered tales. The castle is a shrine, its hearth a guide. Agnes hums, her voice sad, soft, grief shared. She works, her hands busy. The castle lives, its servants endure. Agnes tends wounds, cuts, burns. Her eyes sharp, she learns herbs, watches, listens. The castle heals, its warmth a balm. Survival is resilience, effort. Her friend smiles, her fever gone, her breath steady. Agnes rests, her body tired, her spirit calm. Disease retreats, the hearth holds, the kitchen hums. Its fire burns. Agnes moves, her hands steady, her tasks endless. The castle endures, its servants unseen, their lives a whisper, a flicker in its stone. Illness shapes the castle. Agnes watches, her eyes tired, she boils water, her hands steady, she bathes another. Her cloth cool, she prays, her voice low. The castle is a hospital, its kitchen a refuge. Survival is care, shared, she shares herbs. Her hands gentle, nods, his cough softer. The castle lives, its servants fight. Their hands busy, their hearts strong. Agnes works, her life a rhythm, her toil the castle's breath. The castle's air is heavy, smoky. Agnes coughs, her chest tight, she works. Her hands steady, she sweeps, carries, scrubs. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. Illness lingers, a constant threat. She prays, her voice soft. For health, mercy, the castle binds, its servants endure. There lives a cycle, their toil unseen. Agnes shares a look, her friend's eyes tired, their hands meet. Survival is strength, shared, the castle lives. Its servants forgotten, their lives a hum, a flicker in its halls. Asterisk fear binds. Agnes spills ale, her hands shake, tremble. The steward glares, his eyes cold. The year is 1326. Survival is obedience, submission. The castle is harsh, its rules. Iron unyielding, let us stand with Agnes. Feel fear's grip, her heart racing. Her hands steady, her life a balance of caution. Duty, punishments sting. A maid's error, a broken cup, brings blows. Agnes flinches, her breath quick. The castle demands order, perfection. A slip brings pain. A slap stalks, her hands work, careful, precise. Survival is caution, vigilance. The steward watches, his voice sharp. The castle's law is strict. Its stone walls judge. Agnes moves, her steps soft, her heart tight. She scrubs, her hands raw. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. The church binds, Agnes kneels, her knees ache. Sign looms. Disobedience damns, priests whisper, their voices low, her soul heavy. Survival is guilt, fear, she confesses, her voice small, trembling. The castle is holy, its chapel a judge. Fear holds her. Faith steadies, she prays, her hands clasped, her heart calm. The castle demands, its servants obey. Agnes works, her hands busy, her tasks endless. The kitchen lives, its fire a faint comfort. Lords rule. Agnes bows, her eyes low, her hands full. A harsh word cuts, she trembles. Survival is submission. Humility, the castle runs on power. Servants bend, break, her hands move. Pots, brooms, buckets, fear drives. The kitchen hums, its fire hides. Her dread, she works, her steps slow, her heart steady. The castle thrives, its servants unseen. Their lives a whisper, a hum, a flicker in its stone. Servants whisper, share fears. Agnes listens, her friend's hand warm, their voices low. The castle binds, but unites. Survival is strength, shared, they endure. Laughs softly, moments stolen, precious fear lingers. A shadow, Agnes works. Her hands steady, her heart calm. She sweeps, carries, scrubs. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. A scullion nods, his eyes tired. Their hands meet, survival is bond. Quiet, enduring, the castle lives, its servants forgotten. Fear shapes the castle. Agnes moves, her steps careful. She serves, her tray steady. She must not spill. she must not err. The steward watches, his eyes sharp. She prays, her voice low. For mercy, strength, the castle demands. Its servants obey. She works, her hands busy, her tasks endless. The kitchen is alive, its fire warm. Agnes endures, her life a rhythm, her toil the castle's breath. She shares a crust, her friend smiles, their eyes meet. Survival is love, shared. The castle binds, its servants live. The castle's rhythm is fear's rhythm. Agnes works, her hands steady. She scrubs, sweeps, carries. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. Fear lingers, a constant shadow. She prays, her voice soft. For safety, mercy, the castle binds, its servants endure. There lives a cycle, their toil unseen. Agnes shares a look, her friend's eyes tired. Their hands meet. Survival is strength, shared. The castle lives, its servants forgotten. There lives a hum, a flicker in its halls. Agnes works, her heart steady, her toil endless. The castle is home. But the world calls. Agnes steps out, her cloak heavy, patched. The year is 1328. Servants work fields, markets, streams. Survival is labor, connection, movement. Let us follow Agnes. Her tasks beyond stone, her hands busy, her heart tied to the castle. Agnes carries laundry, her basket heavy, to a stream beyond the castle walls. Her hands plunge, water chills. Bites, linens soak, she scrubs. Her knuckles red, raw, bleeding. The castle needs linens, sheets, tablecloths. Survival is toil, effort. The stream runs, its song soft, soothing. The castle's clothes clean, its beauty her labor. She returns, her arms full, her steps slow, heavy. She hangs cloth by the fire. Steam rises, the kitchen smells of damp wool, ash. Survival is work, endless, repetitive. She walks to fields, gathers herbs, sage, thyme, rosemary. Her eyes sharp, her hands careful. The kitchen needs them. Its stews depend. Survival is harvest, care. She treads, her steps slow, deliberate. The earth gives, yields. The castle eats. Agnes returns, her basket full, heavy, her heart light. Calm the world feeds. The castle thrives. Its hearth burns, its tables groan. Her hands make it so, her toil unseen. Her life a rhythm. Markets hum, buzz. Agnes sells eggs. Her voice soft low. She trades. Coins clink, cloth folds. The castle buys, needs grain, salt. Survival is barter, exchange, connection. She walks, her path dusty. Long merchants call, their voices loud. Her hands steady, careful. She gains sacks, heavy, precious. The castle's stores grow, its pantry fills. Her labor links it to the world, its hearth warm, its fire steady. Agnes moves, her steps slow, her heart calm. Children help, carry straw, gather sticks. Their hands small, eager. Agnes guides, her voice kind, gentle. The world is vast, harsh, kind. The castle teaches, its lessons shared. Survival is work, effort. She hoes fields, her back bent. Barley grows, the earth stubborn. She plants, prays, her hands steady. The castle needs the harvest. Its stores depend. Children watch, learn, their eyes wide. Survival is knowledge shared. The castle calls, its fire binds. Agnes endures, her life a cycle, her toil its breath. The world beyond is alive. Agnes walks, her steps slow, she carries, gathers, trades. The castle needs her, its hearth waits, she returns. Her basket heavy, her heart light, the fields yield, the markets trade, the streams clean, survival is movement, connection, she works, her hands busy, her tasks endless. The castle lives, its servants unseen, their lives a whisper, a hum, a flicker in its stone. Agnes moves, her heart steady, her toil the castle's pulse. The castle depends, Agnes labors, her hands steady. She carries, scrubs, gathers the world. Feeds, the castle eats. She walks, her steps slow, her cloak heavy. She trades, her voice soft, she plants. Her hands dirty, the castle thrives. Its stores grow, its fires burn. Agnes works, her life a rhythm, her toil unseen. She shares a look, a child smiles. Their hands meet, survival is bond, shared. The castle lives, its servants forgotten. Their lives a quiet song, a hum, a flicker in its endless halls. Asterisk faith holds, binds, Agnes kneels. The chapel dim, its air cool. The year is 1330. The castle prays, its bells toll, soft, steady, survival. Is belief, strength, hope. Let us sit with Agnes, feel her faith, the rituals that bind, the quiet comfort of shared prayers. Saints watch, guard Agnes prays, her hands clasped tight. She offers candles, wax drips, melts. The castle is holy, its chapel a heart, a refuge. Prayers rise, her voice soft, low, for health, mercy, safety, survival is faith. Trust, God guides, protects. Agnes feels, her heart calm, steady, the hearth mirrors heaven. Its fire a holy flame, she kneels, her knees ache, her soul light. The castle sings, its prayers shared, festivals spark. Easter comes, the castle hums. Agnes kneads, her hands steady, bakes holy bread, its scent warm. Servants dance, share ale, their laughter soft. Survival is joy, celebration. The hall glows, music hums, Agnes sways. Her steps slow, gentle, the castle unites faith, feast. Shared, she smiles, her heart light. The kitchen binds, its fire warm. Servants gather, their voices low, their hands joined. Survival is togetherness, love, quiet. Daily mass calls. Agnes stands, her voice low. Prayers blend, silent, soft. She buries charms, small crosses, near the kitchen. Her hands careful, steady, they guard, protect. Survival is tradition, faith. The castle is memory. Its rituals teach, bind. Agnes guides. A child, her voice soft, kind, shows her to pray, to kneel. Faith binds, holds. The castle's chapel hums. Its bells toll, servants pray, their hearts calm. Death calls, a servant passes. Agnes prays, her hands fold, gentle. The chapel chants, its air heavy. The castle graves grow, small, quiet. Survival is honor, memory. The dead live in prayers, whispered tales. Agnes lights a candle, her flame steady, small. The castle remembers. Its faith eternal, she hums, her voice sad, soft, grief shared. She works, her hands busy. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. servants endure, their lives a whisper, a flicker in its stone, in its stone. Faith shapes the castle, Agnes prays, her voice low, she kneels. Her knees ache, she lights candles, her hands steady, the chapel sings. Its bells toll, servants gather, their voices soft, survival is faith, shared, Agnes teaches, her hands guide. A child prays, her eyes wide, the castle binds, its faith unites, servants work, their hands busy, their hearts calm, Agnes moves, her life a rhythm, her toil the castle's breath, the castle's rhythm is faith's rhythm, Agnes kneels prays. Works, her hands steady, she sweeps, carries, scrubs, the kitchen hums, its fire burns, faith lingers, a constant light, she prays, her voice soft, for mercy, strength, the castle binds, its servants endure. There lives a cycle, their toil unseen, Agnes shares a look, a friend's eyes tired, their hands meet, survival is faith, shared, the castle lives, its servants forgotten, their lives a hum, a flicker in its halls. Agnes prays, her heart steady, her toil endless. The world is wild, dangerous. Agnes walks, woods loom, shadows dance. The year is 1332. Survival is vigilance, caution, threats, hide. Bandits, storms, beasts, let us walk with Agnes, feel dangers chill. Her courage, her heart racing, her hands steady. Bandits prowl, their steps silent. Agnes carries eggs, her basket heavy, her eyes sharp. Woods whisper, leaves rustle. Survival is caution, care, her knife small, tucked ready. The castle needs her, its hearth calls, she hurries. Her steps quick, light, survival is speed, safety. She reaches the gate, her heart light, the kitchen waits, its fire warm, her hands steady. Her fear fades, storms rage, rains flood, Agnes stumbles, her cloak soaked heavy. The castle leaks, its stores risk rot. Survival is labor, repair, she patches, her hands wet, cold, mud clings, sticks, the kitchen holds, its fire fierce, Agnes works, her body tired, her arms ache, the castle endures, its walls stand, its turf tight, she climbs. Her steps slow, the roof creaks, survival is effort, endless, the hearth burns, Agnes rests, her work done, raids come, horns blare, echo. Agnes hides, her breath tight. Quick, knights clash, swords ring, the castle shakes. Survival is fear, hiding, she prays, her voice low, soft, for safety. Mercy, foes, flee, scatter, the kitchen stands, its hearth safe. Warm, Agnes rises, her hands steady, her heart calm. Survival is strength, endurance, the castle lives, its servants unseen, their lives a whisper, a flicker in its stone. Wolves hunt, their howls chill, echo, Agnes guards hens, her stick firm, steady, the castle eats, needs eggs, meat. A fox strikes, she chases, her heart races, her steps quick. Survival is protection, courage, the flock lives. She returns, her hands cold, her breath heavy, the castle is warm, its fire alive. Agnes breathes, her fear fades, her hands steady, the kitchen hums, its hearth burns. Survival is vigilance, shared, the castle endures, the world beyond is harsh. Agnes walks, her steps careful, She carries, gathers, watches. The castle needs her. Its hearth waits. She returns, her basket heavy, her heart light. The woods whisper, the storms rage, the bandits lurk. Survival is courage, caution, she works. Her hands busy, her tasks endless. The castle lives, its servants unseen. There lives a whisper, a hum, a flicker in its halls. Agnes moves, her heart steady, her toil the castle's pulse. The castle depends. Agnes labors, her hands steady, she carries, scrubs, watches. The world threatens, the castle shields. She walks, her cloak heavy, she guards, her eyes sharp, she returns, her heart calm. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. Survival is effort shared. She shares a look, a child smiles, their hands meet. Survival is bond, strength. The castle lives, its servants forgotten. Their lives a quiet song, a hum, a flicker in its endless halls. The castle is memory. Agnes sits, her hands worn, her hair gray. The year is 1340. Its walls hold her life, her kin, her toil. Survival is labor. Legacy lives, endures. Let us sit with Agnes, feel her tale, the servants echo their quiet mark in the castle's stone. Stories fade, pass. Agnes whispers, tales of kin, maids, scions. Her voice soft, low. Children hear, listen. A pot by the hearth, its iron worn, pitted hers. The castle is a book, its stones speak. Whisper, survival is storytelling. Quiet tales of toil. Sweat, Agnes lives. Her hum a thread, soft, the fire glows. Shadows dance, flicker, the kitchen hums. Its warmth her legacy. Marks linger. Agnes traces, scratches, walls, spoons, bowls. Her fingers slow, gentle, each a tale, labor, love, endurance. The castle is art, living. A cook carves his knife steady, slow. Children watch, learn. Survival is craft, skill. The stones live, their stories deep, eternal. Agnes smiles, her heart full, warm. The kitchen binds, its fire, her mark. Her life woven, its walls a canvas. Her hands the brush, the hearth holds, its stones black. Old Agnes adds, wood, sparks rise. She recalls her mother, her hands on these stones, her voice in this air. The castle links, binds. Survival is memory, continuity. She teaches, her hands guide, steady. A child needs. Her fingers small, the fire burns. The castle endures, its pulse warm, its warmth a gift. Hers, theirs, forgotten, yet alive. Agnes works, her hands busy, her life a rhythm. Her toil the castle's breath. Relics stay, a broom, a rag, a chipped bowl. Agnes keeps, her hands gentle, careful. They tell of where life, love. The castle is a chest, a museum. Survival is keeping, preserving. She cleans a spoon. Its wood smooth, worn. The castle holds. Its stories live, breathe. Agnes whispers, her voice soft, her legacy dust. Yet alive, vibrant, the kitchen hums. Its fire burns. Servants endure, their lives a whisper, a hum. A flicker in its stone. The castle's legacy is theirs. Agnes works, her hands steady. She sweeps, carries, scrubs. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. She shares a look, a friend's eyes tired. Their hands meet. Survival is bond, strength. shared, the castle lives, its servants forgotten, their lives a quiet song, a hum, a flicker in its halls. Agnes moves, her heart steady, her toil endless, the castle thrives, its pulse their labor, their lives woven, their legacy eternal. The castle changes. Lords pass, time shifts, Agnes feels, her hands slow, the year is 1345. Servants toil, but the world moves, survival is fleeting, fading, let us walk with Agnes, see the decline. The servants' quiet end, their lives a whisper in the castles. Stone, plague whispers, villages empty, thin, Agnes hears, her kinfall fade, the castle prays, its bells toll. But death walks, silent, relentless, survival is loss, grief, her voice soft, low, the kitchen mourns, its fires dim, low she kneels, prays, her heart heavy, her hands steady, the castle stands, half silent, its halls echo, its servants fewer. There lives a hum, a flicker, fading towns rise, markets pull, grow, Agnes stays. Her village fades, empties, the world grows, shifts, servants leave, seek new lives, survival is change, movement, her hands scrub, her heart here, tied, the castle. Feeds, but fewer toil, its halls quiet, echo, survival is choice. Staying, Agnes sweeps, her broom slow, her heart calm, the castle lives, its servants forgotten. There lives a whisper, a hum, a flicker in its stone. Wars shift, knights march, clash, the castle stirs. Agnes's brother fights, his sword heavy. The kitchen waits, its hearth dim, cold. Survival is grief, loss. He falls, fades. She carves a cross, her knife slow, steady. The castle mourns, its stones cold, silent. Survival is memory. Honor, Agnes hums, her voice sad, soft. Grief shared, she works, her hands busy. The kitchen hums, its fire burns. Servants endure, their lives a whisper, a flicker. The castle ages. Walls crack, crumble. Agnes sweeps, her steps slow, heavy. Dust gathers, settles, time wears, erodes. Survival is effort, repair. She patches, her hands tired, weak. The kitchen creaks, holds. Its fire dies, fades. Agnes knows, feels. Her end nears, approaches. Survival is acceptance. Quiet, the castle rests, sleeps. Its servants forgotten. There lives a hum, a flicker, fading in its endless halls. Agnes works, her heart steady. Her toil endless, her legacy dust, yet alive. The castle's rhythm slows, Agnes moves, her hands steady, she sweeps. Carries, scrubs, the kitchen hums, its fire burns. The world changes, towns rise, wars shift, servants fade. Agnes stays, her heart tied, she prays, her voice soft, for mercy, strength. The castle binds, its servants endure, their lives a cycle. Their toil unseen, Agnes shares a look, a friend's eyes tired, their hands meet. Survival is bond, strength. The castle lives, its servants forgotten, their lives a quiet song, a hum, a flicker, a flicker. The castle crumbles, falls, but lives, linger, echo. The year is 2025, Agnes's world is dust. But its spirit lives, breathes. Survival is forever. Eternal, let us walk its ruins, feel the servants' mark. Their legacy in the castle's stone, their lives a whisper, a hum, a flicker in time. Stones remain, stand, scholars dig, uncover, find Annis's spoon, her marks, scratches. The castle is a puzzle, its pieces scattered. Survival is discovery, knowledge, we learn. Their lives near, close, Agnes's hands shaped. These, carved these, the castle speaks, its voice soft, low, eternal, we listen. Our hearts open, wide, the kitchen's fire burns in memory, its warmth a gift. Annis's toil endures, lives her legacy woven, eternal. Tales live, breathe Annis's work, small, humble, but woven in part. The castle is a story, told, retold. Sung survival is narrative, memory, books, films, carry servants, their lives. Annis's hum echoes, resounds. The castle is a dream, its walls in us, our minds. Survival is story, forever spun, woven. Annis's hands live, her toil a thread. The kitchen's fire burns. Its light, soft, eternal. We read, we listen, we know. The servants endure, museums hold. Keep, a pot, a rag, Agnes's bowl, chipped, worn. The castle is treasure, its artifacts precious. Survival is keeping, preserving, we see, touch, feel, servants. Breathe, live, Agnes's toil endures, persists. The castle bridges, links, its hearth hours, warm. Survival is connection, past, now, present. We walk, our steps slow, the castle's stones speak. Whisper Agnes's hands live, her legacy eternal. Her life a hum, a flicker in time. We are servants, workers, dreamers. Annis's strength, her kin's hope, love. The castle is us, our lives. Survival is spirit. Will we carry them, their echo Annis's courage, her hands, her heart. The castle lives, its fire burns, Agnes rests, sleeps, her legacy lives, breathes. Sleep now, dear listener. The castle holds, cradles. Its fire warm, soft, its walls gentle, kind. The servants live, their lives yours, eternal. The castle's legacy is theirs. Annis's hands shaped it, her toil built it. We walk, our steps slow. We touch, our hands gentle. The stones speak, whisper. Agnes's life, a hum, a flicker. We read, we know, the servants endure. There lives a song, quiet, eternal. We listen, our hearts open. The castle lives, its fire burns. Annis's legacy woven, her toil forever. We carry, we dream, the servants are us, their lives our echo. Sleep now, the castle holds, its warmth yours. The wind moves before the world wakes, it crawls through the cracks in the stone. It slides beneath the great wooden doors, it breathes into the straw that lines the servants' beds, and it kisses the soles of their bare feet before their eyes. Even open, beneath the castle where the walls are thick with old moss and the air carries the scent of damp bread and cold iron, the servants begin to stir. Not with joy, not with rush, but with that ancient sigh of duty known only to those whose days belong to others. In the dark corners of the young bodies lie curled on pallets of straw, sleeping side by side, their dreams interrupted by the shifting of rats, by the groan of a nearby beam, by the low murmur of someone praying in their sleep, not for salvation, but for warmth, for a kinder master, for a winter that passes quickly. The first to rise is the oldest boy. He moves not with pride but with memory. He has heard the footsteps of the head cook in his dreams, and knows she will come, and knows she will not knock. He splashes his face with cold water, pulled from a clay jug gone green at the rim, his tunic stiff from yesterday's sweat, his hands cracked, though still too young to hold a knife at the Lord's table. There is no rooster here, no cockerill on a hill, but a bell far above, far from reach, that tolls when the steward stirs. Yet the servants move long before it calls. They know the bell does not wait for them. They must move to meet it in the scullery. A girl named Heloise bends to gather wood. The pile is wet. It always is. No matter how carefully it is covered, no matter how quickly she moves. And the cold is crueler when your fingers must pick splinters and your breath shows white in the stillness. Her face is round with sleep, her shoes are too small, and her name will never be written in any book. But she knows how many steps it takes to reach the hearth. She knows which stones creak and which rats bite. The kitchens are still silent, but not for long. She lays the wood as she was taught. Dry sticks first, if she can find them, the rest atop, then breath again, and then the glow begins. And the castle begins to waken, not from the top, but from the ground, above, in chambers of velvet and furs. Lords and ladies still dream. But below, beneath their silken beds, servants begin their dance in the laundry cellars. An old woman coughs. Her name is Margot. Her back is bent. She speaks to no one. But every morning she stirs the linens with a crooked stick, a stick she calls by her dead husband's name. She whispers to the linens, asks them where they have been, what secrets they carry, which noble spilled wine, which child soiled sheets, which mistress wept into the pillow. No one listens. But Margot talks just the same. A sound rises from the hall above. A heavy boot, a distant clang, a door being opened by a groggy knight, and then it begins. The castle wakes like a great animal, slow at first, stretching, yawning, growling from within. The servants know its moods. They feel its breath in the fires, its pulse in the corridors, its fury in the footsteps of the steward. The first bell rings. And it is not loud, not truly, but it echoes down the stairs, through the stone, into the chests of those who serve. It says rise. It says move. It says the world is no longer yours. And so they go. A line of boys and girls, no older than 12, barefoot or slippered, hair tangled, eyes heavy. They carry pails. They carry trays. They carry cloth. And not one of them carries their own name any more. The bell rings again. Longer this time, and in the servant halls beneath the chapel, the prayer lad wakes with a shiver. His mat is thin. The candle beside him has burned out. He opens his eyes. To stone, to dust, to duty. He must light the altar candles before the priest arrives. He must sweep away the ash from yesterday's incense. He must bow before a God who does not bow back. His knees ache already, and the day has not begun. In the corridor, a girl slips past him, her arms full of damp rushes. She will scatter them across the Lord's chamber floors. She will make the air smell of mint and sweet flag. She will stoop so low her back will ache for hours, and she will not be thanked, not today, not ever. Above, the steward begins to descend. His keys clink like bones in the dark. His breath is sour from drink, his gaze sharp from habit. He walks slowly, but the air parts for him. Servants freeze where they are. Some bow, others vanish behind barrels or into nooks. For the steward remembers. the steward reports. And the steward forgets no name but his own. He finds a maid asleep by the barrel. He kicks her gently, then hard. She does not cry out. She rises, mutters a word that sounds like apology, and begins to scrub the floor where her cheek had rested. He walks on, unconcerned, already thinking of the scroll he must present to the chamberlain, already imagining which name he might cross out today. The sun has not yet broken the sky, but the castle is alive now. Pots clatter in the lower hearth, linen twists in the wash basins, boots are brushed with stiff bristles, candles are trimmed by shaking hands. The silence is filled with the hush of labor, of whispers, of the things no one is allowed to say aloud. And in the still cold corners of the keep, those too small to carry wood or scrub pots sit and wait, eyes wide, lips chapped. They are watching, always watching. They will become pages, or they will be sent to the stables, or they will disappear entirely. No one tells them when. No one tells them why. Rooster crows at last, faint and distant. Not from within the castle, but from a field beyond the curtain wall. And the servants pause, just for a breath, just long enough to remember there is a sky above them. Then the bell rings again, the third toll, the loudest, and they return to their tasks, as they always have, as they always will. Their lives begin before the first bell and end long after the last, and in between there is only service, only silence, only stone. The kitchens are the heart of the castle, but no one sees them beat, not truly, not the lords who sit at polished tables, not the guests who lift goblets carved in gold, not the priest who blesses the bread but never bakes it. No, the kitchens belong to those who rise and smoke, who sweat before the sun, who feed 100 mouths but forget the taste of their on. It begins with coals always, the coals. They are never fully dead, not if the scullions have done their duty. Deep beneath the iron grates, beneath the soot and the ash, a dull red glow clings like breath to a dying body. It waits to be woken, it waits to be fed. The girl who wakes it is called Annie's, or perhaps she was once called Annie's. No one speaks her name, now she is the ash girl, the coal girl, the one who stinks of smoke and never looks you in the eye. Her hands are black to the wrists, her cheeks streaked with gray dust, her breath tastes of soot, and her hair always smells of cinders. She crouches low, her knees pressed to the damp stone, and she breathes onto the coals, soft and slow, again and again, her fingers moving with practice, not grace, not art, just duty. Above her the hearth yawns open, a great black mouth with iron teeth hanging. Pots sway gently on thick hooks. Copper pans catch the flicker of new flame, and the darkness begins to retreat, inch by inch, like a beast pushed back into its hole. She fans the flame with the edge of her skirt, then piles the dry wood over it, then damp logs, then peat, then more ash, then closes the grate, then rises slowly, her back aching like an old woman's, though she has seen just 13 winters by now. The cook has entered, a woman of flesh and frowned, with arms strong as flour sacks and eyes sharper than cut bone. She does not speak, she gestures a nod for this, a point for that, and the servants move as one, each to their station, each to their duty. There is no need for talk in the castle kitchen, not at this hour, not when bread must be made before the horn sounds, not when broth must boil, not when the porridge must be ready for the steward's tray, and the potboy knows where the eels are kept, and the butcher's lad knows how to swing his knife, and the spit boy begins to turn the wheel before he even sees what beast is skewered. The spit is older than any of them, an iron pole, dark with the grease of 1,000 roasts. It creaks with each slow turn, and the boy who turns it never leaves it. His name was once Will, but he has long since become the spit. He eats beside it, he sleeps near it, his arms are stronger on one side, and his skin smells always of dripping fat. No one speaks to him much, not because they are cruel, but because the turning must never stop, not even for a moment, not even if he bleeds, not even if he weeps, for meat is gold, and to ruin a joint of venison is to waste a week's favor elsewhere. The milkmaids arrive, with pails still warm, fresh from the cows kept outside the east wall. They walk quickly, heads down, shawls tight, and hand off the pails to a girl with no fingers on her left hand. She measures with her eyes, pours without spilling, stirs with her elbow, and smiles at no one. Then come the eggs, carried in rush baskets by a boy so silent the hens never peck him. He slips in through the side, his hands cupped around each delicate shell. He knows which ones are spoiled. He knows how to crack them with a whisper. He knows how to listen for the sound of yolk too thin to trust. The kitchen is full now, not with voices but with motion, the sweep of ladles, the thud of cleavers, the hiss of water meeting hot stone, the breath of ovens, long since tamed but never trusted. And above it all, the cook moves like a ghost in skirts, her feet silent, her eyes everywhere. She smells burnt grain before it smokes. She feels a spoiled apple before it turns. She hears the mouse beneath the flour sack, and when she lifts her hand all movement stops. She points to the bread, it is too pale. She points to the stock, it is too thick. She points to the girl holding too many leeks, and the girl drops one without a word. Then, as if the moment had never broken the rhythm, returns the stirring, the chopping, the turning of the spit in the corner. A pot boils with roots and salt, the smell of onion and garlic rising to mix with the scent of blood and smoke. This is the broth for the lesser table, the table of men at arms and squires and stable hands, the stew for those who must eat quickly with one hand on their spoon and one on their sword. For the Lord's table, a finer dish, pigeon pie, perhaps, or lamprey, and jelly or roast swan, stuffed with almonds, but the servants will never taste these things. They cook by memory, by rhythm, by scent, and when they are done, they eat crusts and peelings, and nothing more. Some of them hum while they work, low and tuneless, just enough to remember they are still alive, just enough to hold their thoughts together, for in this place of heat and smoke and steam, it is easy to forget. You are not a shadow. The floor is always wet, always sticky, always slick with grease and dropped gravy and blood from the butcher's bench. And more than one servant has fallen there and risen limping and kept on working. There is no time for pain in the kitchen, no time for cuts or burns or scalds. A cloth tied, a whisper of cold water, and back to the pot, back to the wheel, back to the wheel, back to the knife. And as the sun begins to rise, at last its light falling through narrow arrow slits, the kitchen glows not with gold, but with the soft light of fire on copper, the shimmer of heat in the air, the sheen of sweat on 1,000 brows. The cook tastes the broth, nods, snaps her fingers, and the trays are filled one by one. They are carried out by boys with trembling arms, by girls with bare feet, by youths who have never seen the Lord's face but know the path to his table by heart. As the servants vanish into the halls, as the bell rings for breakfast, as the castle begins to chatter and laugh and command, the kitchen does not rest. The kitchen does not pause, for lunch must come, and then supper, and then bread for tomorrow. And there is always meat, to salt fish, to scale grain, to grind. There is always something that burns if left too long. The girl called Annie's wipes her hands on her apron, rubs the ash from her brow, and turns again to the fire, for the flame must never die, not here, not in the belly of the castle. There is a man who walks before the Lord wakes, who moves through the halls like a whisper wrapped in wool and iron. His cloak is gray, not from dye, but from age, and where his boots do not echo, though the stone beneath them begs to ring, he carries no sword, no torch, no book, but the ring on his belt clinks with a sound like ice on water, not loud, not harsh, but cold and final, and every servant who hears it stills their breath and bows their head. He is the steward, the keeper of the keys, the watcher of doors, the master of schedules, and silence and stairs. He knows every hinge in the castle, every chamber, every closet and crypt and chamber pot. He was not born to this role, he earned it not by blood, but by patience, by the simple talent of listening better than speaking, by knowing when to appear, and more importantly, when not to. He rises before the bell, not because he is ordered to, but because he chooses to, because the castle must never wake before he does, and he walks the halls in silence, checking bolts, checking latches, checking locks. He carries no candle, he does not need it. He moves by feel, by memory, by the hush that hangs between stone and shadow. His hands are long, his fingers never shake, and he holds the great iron keyring like a priest holds scripture, gently but with meaning, with weight and with warning. Each key has its shape, its voice, its song. The key to the wine cellar is thin and cold, it shivers when drawn from the ring. The key to the tower stairs is thick and pitted, it protests when turned. The key to the lady's chamber is smooth and quiet and warm from use, and he never lets it hang alone. He enters rooms not to see what they contain, but to confirm they have not changed, a cloak left where it should not be, a paper moved, a curtain drawn closed when it should remain open. He marks these things, he does not question them aloud, he simply notes and remembers and shifts the rhythm of the day to account for them. He is feared more than liked, respected more than loved. His voice is soft but dry, and when he speaks his words are clipped like trimmed ivy, nothing more than needed, and never repeated twice. He speaks the names of servants who arrive late, but only once, and never again, for those names vanish from the rolls soon after. The steward knows secrets, but he keeps none of his own. His chamber is bare, his bed is hard, his meals are cold and taken alone. No one has seen him laugh, not truly, not since he first wore the ring, and no one speaks of who he was before, though some say he came from the city, some say from a monastery. Some say he was once a servant like the rest, and simply never stopped bowing. He visits the cellar first, as always, before the dawn fully breaks. He counts the barrels, counts the bottles, he touches the salt sacks, checks for damp, checks for mold. The boy who works the cellar bows without words. The steward does not return the bow. He glances once at the wax seal on the cask, and then moves on up the stairs, past the kitchens, where the cooks avert their gaze, past the laundry, where steam clings to the air like mist, past the great hearth, where wood is being laid and up again, to the chambers of the Lord and Lady. He does not enter, only listens, his ear to the door for a breath, for a rustle, for a cough. He waits and then moves on. He carries a ledger, always bound in dark hide, lined with thin pages, marked in tight lines. His own hand. He never asks others to write for him, never trusts ink not his own. The ledger contains dates, times, names, arrivals, absences, accidents, punishments, and beneath each line, a space blank and wide and waiting for what comes next. Today, he will summon the scullery maid who left a pan unwashed yesterday. He will inspect the stable where the new gelding arrived, muddy. He will speak to the washerwoman whose niece was seen whispering by the gate, and at the end of the day, He will write nothing of these things, only mark them with a symbol only he understands. In the chapel he pauses not to pray but to observe. He counts the candles' marks. Which ones have burned too low, which tapestries hang crooked, which kneeling cushion is out of place, and he notes it all without frown or sigh, for his is not the work of correction but of continuity, of keeping the castle not clean, not pure, but exactly as it must appear to be. He is the one who ensures the door to the treasury sticks just slightly so none may sneak in unaware. He is the one who ensures the ladies' old hound is fed even though it bites. He is the one who places the blank parchment beside the Lord's inkstand each morning with no one to witness and no one to thank. When a guest arrives, he is the first to greet them, not with smile, not with welcome, but with nod, and with name, and the exact weight of the keys required to open their bedchamber. The steward does not forget faces or shoes or scents. He remembers the tilt of a stranger's brow and how often they look behind them, and he writes it all later in lines that no one else reads. In the great hall, he passes through the servants like smoke. They part for him, they do not ask questions, he does not answer them, and yet when something goes missing, it is he they whisper to. When a girl is afraid she has ruined a sleeve, or lost a ring, or spilled something that cannot be mended, she finds his shadow and hopes it will speak her name. Kindly he does not punish with hands, he does not shout, but when he does speak low and close, with that voice like cold metal, the words settle like frost, and are not forgotten. He is fair, but not warm, clear but not kind, and in this castle that is the greatest safety a servant might know. And when the sun is high, and the castle is awake, and the corridors are noisy with footsteps and laughter and boots and bellies, the steward is no longer seen, but he is there in the locks, in the ledgers, in the latches that hold just tight enough to remind everyone who walks these halls that someone has already walked them before. He is the castle's memory, and its mirror, and its silence. He is the keeper of keys, and he does not drop them. They are small enough to go unnoticed, and that is how they survive. The children of the castle, not born to it, but bound to it, not heirs or pages with noble names and polished boots, but those who sweep behind doors and carry rushes in their arms, who sleep on woven mats near the ovens or under stairs, who listen when they are not spoken to and answer only when called. They come from many places, from villages where mouths were too many and bread too little, from mothers who whispered goodbye in spring and never returned, from fathers who drank more than they prayed. They are sold, they are sent, they are taken, and once inside the gate they are no longer daughters or sons, but bodies to serve, eyes to lower, hands to move without rest. There is a boy who scrubs the stone floors with a rag tied to his wrists. He is perhaps 7, perhaps younger. No one knows his name anymore. He is called Pebble because he is always underfoot, because he never cries, because he is too small to be a stone and too soft to be remembered. He crawls from corridor to corridor, wetting the rag in cold water drawn from the cistern and dragging it across the paths where boots have passed. He works until his knees are raw, until his back knots like rope, until the cook nods and the steward walks by without notice. There is a girl named Lynette, or something close, who wears a dress handed down from 4 others, patched so often it is more stitched than cloth. She polishes the pewter goblets before the noon meal, sitting cross-legged beside the pantry door, her fingers too small to grip them firmly, but steady enough to make them sheen. She sings to herself a tune she learned from a woman long forgotten, a song with no ending, just a soft circle of sound, like a lullaby meant only for the dust and for herself. Children in the castle do not play. They work, and when they do not work, they wait, and when they do not wait, they sleep, and sometimes in sleep they dream of fields of streams that do not freeze, of voices that say their names with warmth. They are trained by watching, by punishment more than praise. They learn to bow lower each week. Two-fold linens without leaving creases to carry, without dropping, to walk without noise. If one fails, the others are punished. If one speaks, the others are silenced, and so they become not children but parts of a whole, a silent machine built to serve without complaint. Sometimes one will grow, and if they are quick, if they are clever, if they are lucky, they may become a chambermaid or a page or a laundry girl, but most remain where they began, knees on stone, hands in frost, hearts quiet as unspoken prayers. They fear the steward's step, the cook's glare, the chaplain's silence, but most of all they fear being sent away, for outside the castle there is only the cold and the hunger and the forgetting. They do not speak of their lives, for they have nothing to compare them to. This is the only world they know, this place of bells and bruises, of dawns that bring labor and nights that end without stories. One boy keeps a feather in his sleeve, a crow feather black and oily. He found it in the garden while gathering herbs. He hides it near his wrist, and when the castle grows too loud, too cruel, he touches it and remembers the bird flying over the tower, free, unnoticed, gone. Another child draws in soot on the wall behind the barrels, shapes that look like trees, like a sun, like a hand holding another hand. She wipes it away each morning, but draws it again each night, a ritual not of rebellion, but of remembering what softness once felt like. They are not unloved, but the love they receive is quiet, a crust left aside, a blanket shared without words, a look that says I see you, even if no one else does. They learn the rhythms of the castle like a second heartbeat. They can tell by the bell whether the Lord is in a good mood. They can smell when rain is coming through the mortar. They can hear a footstep and know which chamber it will pause attend when a noble child walks by dressed in wool and laughter. They do not envy, they only observe. They only wonder what it is like to be held for longer than a breath, to be kissed good night, to be missed. But the castle does not notice them. It uses them, feeds them when it must, replaces them when it can, buries them without record. When it does not tend, still they stay, and still they rise, and still they carry the lightest tasks with the heaviest silence. They are the shadow children, the ones beneath the feast, the ones behind the curtains, the ones who open the doors but never pass through. And when night comes, they lie beside each other, too tired to whisper, too young to rest, and they dream not of freedom but of warmth. There is a room behind the main hall, where the sun never reaches, a room lined with tubs and buckets and benches and steam, where cloth moves like clouds, but the hands that lift it are red and raw. This is the laundry, not the chamber where the noble garments are laid out with care, but the place where their sweat and their sin are washed away, where the stains of meals and childbirth and battle are boiled from memory. The women here do not wear shoes, their feet are bare to grip the wet floor, to feel the tilt of each board, to stand firm while lifting linen so heavy with water it groans in their arms. They speak little. They sing sometimes, but only to the rhythm of ringing and slapping, not for joy but to mark time. There is a girl named Elspeth, broad in the shoulders, quiet in the mouth, her hands cracked from lie, her sleeves always damp. She does not complain, for the linen must be done, and no one else lifts, as she does, not with grace, but with certainty. She works beside a younger girl called May, whose arms are thin and whose voice is thinner. She is not strong yet, but she knows how to sort by scent, by thread, by the type of stain. She can tell noble blood from butcher's blood. She can find a tear hidden deep in a seam. She can fold Faster than anyone else in the room there are troughs of water, some warm, some cold, some thick with soap made from old fat and herbs. The women kneel, they scrub, they plunge cloth deep into water, they beat it against smooth stones, they whisper curses at sleeves that cling, and at hems that will not dry. There is always a fire burning, but the steam never leaves. It hangs above them, it settles into their hair, their skin, their bones until they do not know what it means to be dry. They wash the lord's tunics, the ladies' shifts, the knights' cloaks, the priests' vestments. They wash the sheets where children were born, and where lovers met, and where fevers came, and they do not ask what the stains mean. They do not ask why the sheets from the West Wing come more often than others. They only wash and fold and deliver. In the back corner, an old woman named Tilda mends her. Her needle is thin, her fingers bent with age, but she sees every hole, every seam pulling loose, every tear caused by spur or sword. She does not speak unless asked, but when she does, her voice is soft, like wool left in the sun. Tilda has mended the same chemise 3 times. She knows it belongs to the young mistress who cries at night. She says nothing, but she patches it gently, with stitches so small they vanish into the fabric, as if the hurt had never happened. The smell in the laundry is not foul, but thick of wet cloth and old water of rosemary. Thrown into the rinse of vinegar and tallow and breath, it clings to the women, so that even when they walk outside, people know where they have been in. They carry the laundry up the stairs. Arms full baskets, balanced cloth piled high so they cannot see the steps. They move by memory, by rhythm, by knowing the width of each stair. From years of ascent, they deliver to chambers where no one opens the door, where a servant takes the basket without a word, where a noble sighs because the scent is too sharp, or the fabric too stiff, and the women nod and return, and do not speak because they are not meant to be heard. That night, when the others sleep, Elspeth still works. She rinses the rags used to clean the latrines, she scours the cloths stained from the kitchens, she pours out the water, 1 bucket at a time. Each splash a kind of prayer, each spill a kind of offering. The floor beneath the tubs is never dry, and sometimes rats come, but they do not bother the women. Perhaps they know this is not a place for biting, only for toyland. When the bells ring to end the day, the women do not stretch or yawn or chatter. They hang the last cloth, they fold the last towel, they wipe the stone table. And they go not home, for this is home, but to the corners where they sleep on sacks of straw with towels for blankets. And the sound of dripping water, their lullaby. There is no record of the laundress in the steward's book, only numbers, only totals. No one writes the name of the woman who bled through her fingertips to make sure the tablecloth was white, or the girl who burned her wrist lifting boiling linens for a guest who never noticed the scent of rose in the napkin. But they know, they remember, and when one of them falls, when her breath fails or her back gives, they take her work, they soak her cloth, they fold her apron, and they keep going, for the linen must be clean, the cloth must be mended, the castle must never see a stain, and no one else will carry this weight but them. In a chamber that is not hers, under a roof that was never meant to shelter her, a woman rocks a child who does not bear her name, a child swaddled in silks finer than anything she has touched, a child who will never know her story, only her breast. She is the wet nurse, the milk mother, the one summoned after noble birth, when the lady is too pale, too proud, too needed elsewhere to feed the child she bore. Wet nurse comes with her own pain, a child buried last winter, a cradle left empty in the servant quarters, a grief that clings like afterbirth, and a body that still gives. She was chosen for her strength, her silence, her yield. They said she was healthy, clean, good-tempered. They said nothing of her heart, nothing of her sorrow she wears. No jewels, no lace, no badge of her task, only a dress that opens at the breast, only a shawl to keep the child warm and her own skin always exposed. She sleeps on a mat beside the cradle, not for convenience but because she must be near, for when the child cries, she must rise, even if she has not slept, even if her limbs ache, even if her soul screams. She sings no lullabies of her own, only those approved by the mistress, only those in the tongue of the highborn. But when no one listens, when the moon hangs quiet outside the shutter, she hums the tune her mother sang to her, the one that sounds like water, like wheat, like wind through cloth. The child feeds greedily, softly, with tiny fingers curled against her chest, and the wet nurse feels both warmth and breaking, for this is not her child and never will be. She does not speak when visitors enter. She lowers her gaze. She becomes the cradle, the chair, the thing that holds the child. Sometimes the lady looks at her not with cruelty but with distance, as though she is a mirror that should not reflect. And when the Lord visits, when he touches the infant's brow and nods, she bows lower, pulls her shawl tighter, and prays that her breath remains invisible. She knows the weight of this child, his hunger, his patterns, his scent. She knows when he will cry before he stirs. She knows what calms him, what startles him, what rhythm soothes him to sleep. But she is not mother, never mother, and when the child speaks his first word, it must not be her name. There are other nurses, helpers, young girls who change cloths, who fetch water, who clean the cradle, but the wet nurse remains. The milk must come, and it comes with its own cost. Her body is not her own. She eats for him, sleeps for him, breathes for him, and still grieves the child she lost, whose face fades more each day as this face takes its place. No one thanks her, not truly though. Sometimes the cook sends her a better crust, sometimes the maid brushes her cloak, sometimes the priest nods in passing, and these things matter more than they should. She does not keep a lock of hair, she does not dare. She does not dream aloud. She simply counts the days, the feedings, the silent hours when the child grows, when a tutor is summoned, when he no longer needs her warmth. She will be sent away to another cradle, another chamber, another name she must never say as her own. She may be given coin or a sack of barley or a blessing whispered over cold hands, but she will not be held. She will not be remembered. She will not be called mother, and yet she will weep silently, secretly, as she washes her breast, as she folds the cloth, as she walks from the room for the last time. The castle will forget her, but the child may not, and one day, when he sees a woman kneeling by the kitchens with tired eyes and folded hands, he may feel something in his bones and not know why, and she will look up, not long, just once, and turn away. Beyond the castle walls, beyond the stables and the outer gate, beyond the orchard that blooms only once each year, there lies a plot of earth enclosed by stone, a place where the grass grows uneven, where the soil is always damp, where names fade from wood and from memory. It is not the noble graveyard, not the one with carved angels and prayers in Latin, not the resting place of lords and ladies wrapped in fine linen. No, this is the place for servants, for cooks, for maids, for those who died in linen, to stain, to be mended. The ones who tend this ground are few, and they speak less than any others, for the dead are not fond of words, and the earth prefers silence. There is an old man named Bram. No one knows how long he has worked here. He is thin, his beard white, his coat too large, but his back still straight and his steps slow but sure. He wakes when the crows stir, when mist clings to the grass like breath, and he walks with a spade in one hand, a lantern in the other, not to light the way, but to show the dead that someone still comes he tends. The graves not to keep them clean but to keep them known. He pulls weeds, he brushes moss from stones, he writes what time tries to bend. He remembers the names no longer written, he speaks them under his breath, as he works not loud, not for anyone else, just enough so the soil remembers. Sometimes a girl helps him no more than 12, with sleeves rolled high and a braid too loose to hold. She does not speak, but she hums a low note that drifts through the trees like smoke. She carries water, cleans the tools, ties new rags to old markers. Her hands are always cold, her eyes never meet Bram's, but when he nods, she nods in return. When a servant dies and there is no family, no coin for candle, no priest to pray, it is Bram who digs, Bram who lays the body in the shroud, Bram who lowers it into earth that has known to many, and says the name once, just once, soft as ashy. Does not write, he does not record, but he remembers, and when asked he can point to a corner, to a stone, to a tree, and say, "Here lies the girl who fell from the tower, here lies the boy who never spoke, here lies the nurse with the softest hands." Sometimes there are offerings, a crust left near a stone, a ribbon tied to a branch, a doll half buried in mud, left by the other servants, by the children who remember, by the ones who still whisper the names when no one listens, no one thanks. Bram, not even the steward, but Bram does not need thanks. He needs only the ground to remain soft and the names to remain known in feast days. When the castle bursts with music and wine, Bram lights a candle for each name. He remembers, lines them along the wall, and lets them burn in silence. No bell, no sermon, only flame. There is no fence between this graveyard and the woods, only old stones half sunken, and foxes who pass without fear, and birds who sing the same 3 notes again and again. When Bram grows tired, he leans against a shovel, not to rest but to listen, for the earth shifts, the wind moves between graves, and he believes quietly that the dead remember too. No one trains to be a grave servant, no one asks for the role. It is given quietly to those who do not flinch at loss, who do not cry at night, who know the rhythm of burial like breathing. And when Bram's day comes, when he does not rise, when the girl comes to find him still, she will not weep, she will dig, she will hum, she will say his name once, just once, and the earth will accept him. And then she will pick up the shovel and carry it until her hands grow old and her back bends, and she forgets why she begged him for. Someone must remember the forgotten, someone must tend the names too small for history. Someone must walk the graveyard and keep it from silence. There are those who remain even after the work ends, even after the hands fall still, and the breath slows to nothing. They remain not because they choose to, but because something of them was left behind, something unfinished, something unanswered. Or perhaps simply something too quiet to carry beyond the veil. Some say it is the castle itself that holds them, that its stones remember better than men, that its halls echo not just with footsteps but with memory, that the heat from the hearths is not only fire but spirit, that the walls do not forget who leaned against them, who wept beside them, who died within them. There is a chamber near the northern stairs that no one enters, not because it is forbidden, but because it is always cold. Even in summer, even when the sun pours through the high windows, the air inside remains still and the light seems thinner, as though it has traveled too far to be strong. Once there lived a servant there, a woman, who spun flax into thread, a spinner with fingers quick and voice slow, who was promised to a stable hand, who died before the wedding, who worked alone ever after, who fell ill and faded before winter, who asked only that her spindle be buried with her and was not. Now the room waits. Now the spindle rolls across the floor without wind, now the door creaks even when closed, and the sound of thread pulled tight hums through the stone like a lullaby woven from longing another place. The old kitchen under the chapel long sealed now, but once the place where scraps were boiled into soup for the poor, where a boy once fell into the pot and never rose, where the cook swore she heard him crying long after, where the fire refused to die for 3 nights, and the scent of onion never left the air. Now servants pass quickly past the wall that covers the door. They do not speak of it, but they glance, they shift, they carry their trays faster, and sometimes, when it rains, you can hear a drip, though the ceiling does not leak. There are whispers in the east corridor behind the tapestries where the lady's handmaid vanished one winter with no word, no trace. Some say she ran, others say she was buried beneath the flagstones, and sometimes her voice is heard repeating the same word over and over, soft as threadbare silk. The children know where not to sleep. They whisper the names of those who never left, not with fear, but with reverence. They place breadcrumbs near the stairwell, where the boy with no name is said to sit and watch, and they leave berries by the well where a girl once fell, and where the bucket still rises too heavy for one pull. There is no priest for these spirits. No rite, no reckoning, only quiet, only the knowledge passed from one servant to another, in broken phrases and half-glances, in the way one turns away from a mirror left uncovered, or how one knocks twice before entering a certain room. Even when it is empty, the steward never speaks of it, but he locks 3 doors each night with keys. He does not explain, and the laundry women leave a single cloth, unwritten, unlabeled, hung where no one goes, as though someone will collect it when all others sleep. The cook keeps a seat empty by the fire, not out of habit, not from superstition, but because once someone sat there and never stood again, and because ever since then the stew never burns if the seat remains untouched. They are not cruel, these lingering souls. They do not howl or strike or curse. They remain because something called them back or never let them go. They whisper, they drift, they wait not for justice, but for memory. And the servants remember more than any lord, more than any scribe. They remember by rhythm, by breath, by silence, by the cup placed carefully beside a basin, or the blanket folded just so, at the foot of the empty bed. Sometimes, at night, the wet nurse hears a lullaby, not her own, and the stable hand sees a shadow brushing the mare, and the scullion finds the coals warm before he stirs, and no one asks why, because the castle does not forget, because the castle keeps what the world casts off, because the castle is made not only of stone and mortar, but of touch and name and footsteps that echo longer than they shouldn't. Those who never left still walk where they once labored, not seeking fear, not seeking peace, only presence, only place, only to be. The great hall is dressed in firelight, the torches high above casting flickers across banners and beams, the floor swept until it shines like ice, the tables groaning beneath silver and spice, the music waiting behind a curtain, the nobles gathering, their voices rising like smoke, and beneath it all, the servants moving unseen, unheard, unnoticed. They are there before the guests arrive, and they will be there long after they leave. They are the hands that laid the cloth, the arms that carried the bread, the backs that bore the barrels. They are the breath behind every candle, and the shadow behind every plate. There is a girl who sets the trenchers, each one placed just so, the same distance from the edge of the table, the same fold in the napkin, the same curve in the knife. She does not know the names of those who will sit there, but she knows where they prefer their goblets and Which seat rocks? If leaned on too far, there is a boy who carries the wine. He walks with careful steps, arms out, eyes lowered. The goblets rattle on the tray, but he never spills. He knows the vintages by scent. He knows which guest will ask for more. Before the first cup is drained, he knows to serve the Lord last always, last never first. Kitchen has sent its army of dishes, roasted boar with clove and orange, stuffed doves and gilded pies, cream molded into towers, fish shaped like dragons, bread twisted like crowns, all to be devoured in a room where no servant may sit, no servant may taste, no servant may rest them. Servers move in silence, they nod, they bend, they carry without sound, they lift without comment, they step back into the shadows between each course and wait, without blinking, without shifting. There is a rhythm to the feast, not of music, but of movement. A servant to every guest, a platter for every hunger, a refill before the request, a smile that never reaches the eyes. They wear simple clothes, dark and clean, nothing that would distract, nothing that would shine. They are not decoration, they are function. They are not present, they are placed when the Lord raises his hand. They come when the lady coughs, they offer water. When the guest drops his knife, they replace it before it clatters. When the minstrel plays, they listen without hearing. When the toast is called, they lift no glass. Sometimes a noble turns and speaks to them as one might speak to a wall or a chair. And they nod, not in agreement, but in acknowledgement that they heard, that they will not remember. There is a rule unspoken that the feast must appear effortless, and so the effort is buried behind smiles, behind doors, behind aching feet and bleeding fingers and sleeves damp with spilled wine. A boy burns his hand on the serving dish, but does not cry. A girl bites her lip when the roast is heavier than she can bear, but she does not stumble. The steward sees and marks it down for later, but says nothing now, for the feast must continue on. When it ends, when the laughter fades and the music falls silent, when the guests leave with full bellies and flushed cheeks, and never once glance behind them, then the true labor begins. The hall must be stripped the cloth, removed the bones, gathered the stains, scrubbed from the stone, the spilled wine dried before it darkens, the wax scraped from the floor, the crumbs swept into hands that have never tasted such bread. They do not rest, they do not pause, they move in the same quiet rhythm, and only when the hall is bare, only when the torches are lowered, only when the plates are washed and dried and stacked again, do they step away. Some return to the kitchen to scrub the soot from pots, some return to the laundry to soak the linens that caught the grease, some sit for a moment on the stairs, not to talk, not to sleep, only to breathe. The feast is remembered in song and in story, the food praised, the music lauded, the guests named in the steward's account, but the ones who served it are forgotten before the last candle dies. They are not part of the tale, only the silence between its words, only the hands that made it happen, and then vanished, only the feet that carried the joy of others and left nothing behind but footsteps. And tomorrow, when the hall fills again, when another feast begins, they will return, they will serve, they will fade, for they are the ones who make celebration possible and never receive it, the ones who stand so still they become part of the wall, the ones who carry joy but never taste a hand. They will do so again and again because the feast must go on and someone must bear it.